they're gonna lose tonight.
The Lakers are playing basketball tonight. Hooray, basketball. Kind of like hooray, beer. Where is my stream? There they are. Hey, what's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? How's it going, guys? Yep.
I just saw the score.
Yep. The Lakers are down by 8 right now. A minute left in the second quarter. It's good.
I knew the whole thing is I knew they weren't gonna win this series after Saturday's game, or Sunday's game, whatever it was. I knew they weren't, or no, it was Sunday's game. I knew they weren't gonna win.
Right.
And I literally, in my first text in my basketball chat was, I can't wait to see the LeBron Glazers try to explain this. And I already know what they're gonna do. I know Nick Wright tomorrow is gonna blame Luka.
Of course. Well, yeah, but that's just Nick Wright. He just makes bad decisions.
But the whole thing is anyone's just gonna be like, no, it's not on Luka. It's on LeBron. It's on LeBron. He can't pick and choose when he wants to turn it on and expect Luka to do it when they're gonna body the shit out of Luka now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, sure maybe you could blame LeBron. To me, it's the roster construction. It has nothing to do with LeBron or Luka. Like, they don't have a big man. There's not much you can do against a team like the Wolves that have Randall and Gobert and, attack the paint like they do and not have a big man to, like, actually play defense or just get in the way. Like, that's their biggest issue. They're just too small to deal with anybody.
I don't think the smallness matters. I think it's more, are they playing DFS at what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're playing Dorian Finney-Smith essentially at power forward, center, whatever. Like, and I guess maybe technically he's 6'7". Like, you have 3 6'7", 6'8" guys as your, like, frontline players between Hachimura, Finney-Smith, and LeBron. And, like,
it's fine if you want to play small, but it's like, then play small. But the problem is you're gonna put yourself. I guess at my core, I'm a LeBron hater. I have to admit,
you are,
like,
yeah.
I think when it comes to LeBron, I get the problem is I got spoiled with Kobe, so when I see LeBron pull his antics, it pisses me off because it's like the stars before him wouldn't pull this shit.
Yeah.
Like, going into this game, Kobe would have, like, murdered them all. It would have been scorched earth.
Probably.
Hell, even Sunday's game would have been scorched earth. It would have been like, hey, guess what? You're not beating the Lakers. You're gonna beat me, and good luck beating me. LeBron's never had that.
Yeah.
So now you're in the situation where they're gonna, and I'm gonna hear it all day tomorrow when I look at social media out here in LA, and even the national stuff's gonna be, oh, whose fault is it? Luka, LeBron's, and all the people who are going to glaze LeBron, which is a lot of them, are going to say it was Luka. Luka clearly can't do this. And it's like, Luka got to the finals with a lesser Mavericks team last year, by far, than this talented Lakers roster.
Were they lesser though? So last year's Mavericks team had Kyrie. They had Gafford and PJ Washington, who are much better big men. Like, right now, you guys played Maxi Kleber for 3 minutes, and he hasn't played since January. Like, the Lakers are in a tough spot just with their roster construction, and we knew this would happen, right? That this was kind of when the trade happened. We're like, yeah, they need a center, and they had that trade for Williams kind of fall through. Like, I don't know, like, this is just kind of where they're at, and it's not really, to me, it's not even their fault. Like, that's just kind of how the chips fell, and you get Luka, you deal with whatever roster garbage you have to deal with until you can get the free agency. So, I don't know. I'm not sure if this is to me, I don't think Luka or LeBron should be blamed at all. I think this is hey, your roster really doesn't work very well as currently constructed in the playoffs, where everything gets tighter and interior defense matters more, things like that. Like, so I don't know. Like, to me, if people are gonna blame, put all of it on Luka tomorrow, those people are dumb. If people are gonna, like, put it 100% on LeBron, I don't think that's quite the right way to do it. I think it's a roster issue, and we knew they'd be here when they made the trade.
I will say this: he did cost them the game on Sunday, no matter how anyone wants to spin it. And I said this in my chat when they were reviewing it. I said, I guess realistically, if we want to be that guy, the referee shouldn't be allowed to look for fouls on an out of bounds play because that's not what they're challenging. And that shouldn't be eligible for review because that's not what anyone's reviewing. They're reviewing who hit the ball last. They're not saying, hey, we got a foul. They were looking for an out of bounds play. And I know there was a trip, but I'm going to focus on the play that actually cost the game.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which was LeBron's stupidity. Granted, it was one camera angle that, again, in the spirit of the rule, and I know this is quite a controversial thing. I don't think you should. This is any sport, NFL, MLB, NBA. You shouldn't be looking for a foul when you're not. That's not what the review is for. I do think that is bullshit across the board. Because that's not in the spirit of replay, and two, that's just basically, especially in the NBA, it's basically guaranteed to go your way then because 99% of the time someone's hitting some part of the body.
That's true. There is a lot of incidental fouling in the NBA. But that is a hot take. That is a hot take.
But the whole thing is that's been my stance forever. It's like I hate this like, hey, we're going to what are we reviewing? Oh, hey, we're reviewing out of bounds play. And then all of a sudden turns into, well, what else can we look for? No, that's not what they said. They didn't say he got hit. We think he got hit. They said, hey, the ball went out of bounds. We don't think our guy hit it. We think it was off of them. If that's what they're asking, the referees shouldn't be looking for fouls.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I guess I think of it not necessarily as them trying to find a foul, more of, hey, we were looking at this out of bounds play. Oh, he hit his arm. It's obvious, and we missed it.
But the whole thing is, on the LeBron play, it wasn't obvious. The only reason it was called was because of one camera that happened to be above them. That camera is only in that stadium. It's not anywhere else. They don't have a high camera at any other arena that I'm aware of. So if they're getting an extra viewpoint on that, that's the only reason they got it, was because they had that feed.
That extra feed. Got you. Because I haven't seen the play, so I haven't.
We didn't see that. They didn't show the audience until the very end. So if they had that the whole time, that is, I'm sorry, that's bullshit. Because at that point, that is throwing a flag in the NFL to challenge a play, and then having the ref say, "Oh, it was incomplete, but there was holding on the defense, so the offense gets 5 yards and a first down." Like that's the equivalent. That's the equivalency to this. Is it changes the whole dynamic when you're not
when that's not what you're supposed to be looking for.
Because that's what you're looking for. Why is it that the NBA gets this whole thing of, oh, we can look at the whole play and say that his shoe was untied? If we're going to do that, then why don't we call travel on Anthony Edwards? Why don't we call flagrant fouls on tripping players? Like, why don't you call those fouls on review when you can see it? But oh no, heavens me, LeBron kind of got got his wrist, and we know that's a no, that's a foul. That's 2 shots, even though we couldn't see it except for one camera. When we weren't really looking for it. Maybe I'm the salty Laker fan, but dare I say, that's not in the spirit. To me, it's not in the spirit of replay.
I see what you're saying. I'm pulling it up now. I want to actually see what this foul is. YouTube would give me some actual pixels I can look at. Yeah, there are some cases where the review is a little too far. You're right. It could be easily abused, right? If you're getting called for one thing and they're looking at something else. The one I hate the most though is soccer with VAR. And
soccer's the worst because soccer will pull off like full goals and stuff.
100%, and it'll be like offsides where his fingertip is past the defender. And if you're actually playing soccer, it's like that's not how this works. Like,
yeah, to me, I'm like. There's certain things where I think replay is not in the spirit of the rule. Because I know, like for baseball, they talk about like, oh, they want the automatic strike zone. Right. And the only problem with like an automatic strike zone is like technically if it nicks the zone, it's a strike.
Right, which can leave open some plays that definitely would not be called a strike.
Now, realistically, well, the whole thing is, I guess, in theory, if the players know that going in, they'll adjust. It'll be a couple weeks to a month to sort of get the adjustment.
Right.
But they'll adjust for the most part. But it's like, it's not like soccer where it's gonna magically disappear.
I think at least with baseball, it is a lot easier to have those types of systems because the strike zone is a spot that is unchanged based on the batter. Like the bat, it's different from batter to batter, but
it's just
theoretically it's unchanged.
It's the same thing,
right? Yeah. I see that call now with the out of bounds. He did, that slap down.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about?
That looks like, to me that looks like a clean block. Or but like
if they show the top thing, it's he hit his hand, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Which is funny because they always say hand is part of the ball. Like,
no, that's what I'm laughing at because it's one of those things where I'm like, so you guys don't actually. It feels like the NFL where it's like, well, I don't know what a catch is anymore.
Yeah, that one that's a tough one to overturn. Like, regardless of angle, like that looks like it would.
Don't worry, it was overturned.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's dumb that was overturned.
I don't understand. And like, kudos.
Oh, I see the angle you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. No, they have that in other the Nuggets have this view too. Like they do have some of these overhead views, like they did for the Aaron Gordon dunk. They looked at some views like from that same angle. But yeah, you're right.
I'm just sort of like, why are we? That's not even in the question. Like, oh no, he hit his hand. Does it change anything? No, you basically just said, hey, here you go. Here's 2 free points. Enjoy the series. Like, you will win the series.
Now, a question for that one: was that challenged by Minnesota, or was that the refs?
By Minnesota. Okay. No, that was a Minnesota challenge. Okay. That was not a ref.
So I don't feel as bad about that if Minnesota's challenging the call. I understand they're not looking for a foul, but Minnesota challenged it. I would be more. To me, it would piss me off way more if it was the refs going back to review to make sure they got the call right and then calling the foul. Right, because a team didn't take a risk to get there.
I think any incident, because in the way challenge, I don't know. Again, I don't know how the NBA works, but in every other sport, for the most part, it's when you challenge the play, you have to specify what you're looking for. NFL and baseball.
In the NFL and baseball, they do that. Yeah,
we think he was. You say like, hey, we think our guy beat him. We think he was safe. Okay, you're in NFL. Hey, we think he was out of bounds. Why is it the NBA can be like, hey, he fouled him and it was out of bounds? Look at both. Like, I don't think that's in the spirit of replay, because then you're basically giving more power to the referees to look at portions of a play that aren't in question.
Right.
The foul or lack thereof was not in question.
Yeah, it was whose ball did it go off of?
Whose hand did it go off of?
Yeah. Or leg in this case. It went off.
Like, whatever it is.
Yeah,
that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for contact. But to me, that's what unless they said we think he's fouled, that's different. Then hey, kudos to you for throwing that one out there and it's sticking. But if you're from what we were told, they were reviewing. I don't know if they said in that what you watched.
Oh, I didn't have the volume on, but yeah.
From what I was gathered, it was the replay was for the out of bounds, not a foul.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I guess it is a different type of challenge if it is out of bounds versus.
Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can hear it.
Yeah, so he makes illegal contact with the wrist. But I'm trying to see if they have the. It sucks because first off, this is coverage on ESPN, right? Yeah, it's dog shit coverage. Because usually I would like to hear what the ref says from the call of, hey, the Minnesota Timberwolves are challenging the previous plays, something, whatever, like.
Oh, okay, hold on. I think they say it here.
Oh, do they? Okay. I just have closed captions on. And it's, ESPN's broadcast is not that good.
Oh, they don't say. All they say is upon review, LeBron made illegal contact to his.
Right. So that would be interesting as the context of that review, which they do it. Yeah, they do announce that in the stadium, and sometimes on the broadcast you see it, but sometimes you don't. I think that is honestly, if I if they cared about basketball, they would show that piece as well. The referee announcing what is being challenged.
Well, they don't. Well, I mean, they don't care.
No, they don't care. That's what I'm saying. ESPN doesn't give a shit about actual basketball. They care about like the storylines and stuff. So like, but
yeah. So the Lakers are going to lose tonight. I will be sad, but I don't think the Nuggets are going to. Realistically, the Nuggets might not be too far behind.
Possibly, we'll see. Like
although I guess at this point I'll be rooting for the Nuggets.
Yeah, we are up 3-2 going to LA. But at the same time, last year we were up 3-2 going to Minnesota, and we saw how that went. So, I don't know. I feel a little bit better this year than I did last year, just because.
Oh, and Luka's hurt. That's cool.
Did Luka get hurt?
We're done.
That's
Luka's dead.
Good.
Luka went back to the locker room after a hard foul, and of course it wasn't a flagrant. Oh, who did it? Wait, hold on. Bro, Bro, go Bears, such a dirty little shit.
He is. The Timberwolves are just a dirty team, dude. Like,
bro, they literally...
Yeah, they're a dirty team.
So, Luka's going for, like, a layup, and fucking the Nova Nick, dude, and Gobert just slam him into the ground on his tailbone.
DiVincenzo.
And it's like, oh, sorry.
Pasta, dude.
It's like, dog, it's a... Oh, he clotheslined his ass!
That's crazy. That wouldn't be a foul.
Dude, they look at I'm
looking at it.
Wasn't and me guess.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
That's a flagrant 2, dude.
Yeah, he came up from above, down on his shoulder and neck.
That's a flagrant 2. That's literally a. Oh, and I guarantee, and it was nothing. And I'm sure it was nothing. They said it looked like a common foul. Who is called Reggie Miller? That is not a common foul. That is a legit flagrant 2.
Yeah, and that one doesn't look good because it's not like he fell on his tailbone. It looks like he like stretched his back, like as he fell. 2. That looks really bad.
Yeah, that's a flagrant 2. If they want to say common foul, I'll show you. Reggie, go out there and you take that hit when you were playing. Well,
the thing is, when Reggie played, that was a common foul. But nowadays, yeah, to me that seems like a flagrant. Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Like, but granted, back in Reggie's days, you could also hand check a guy.
Right, and that's the thing is like any of these players that didn't play within the last like 5 to 7 years, honestly, they don't really know how basketball works now. Like, they played in just such different eras that it's almost a different sport between the 3-point shooting and the, I guess, lack of physicality that's been in the NBA. But at the same time, like, it's weird with how physical these playoffs have been versus the regular season. Like, how inconsistent it's been. It's crazy to me. Like, yeah. Like, there's been plays in the Nuggets game where I'm like at the start of the series, I told my wife, I'm like, someone's fighting in this series because of like how much crap both teams are getting away with, especially the Clippers. And then game 4, was it? Yeah, game 4, you had Aaron Gordon and James Harden almost going to blows. Like, so it's the refereeing is, the inconsistency is kind of crazy between regular season and playoffs. It sucks.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess it makes for entertaining basketball, but at the same time, like, it as a fan of one of the teams, it's not fun.
No.
Because you're like, hey, my guy's getting assaulted. Can we call a foul, please, somewhere?
It's like, can you guys pretend to care?
Yeah. Aaron Gordon, can you not go punch James Harden and not get suspended?
At the Laker game. Is that it?
Ooh. Yeah. Free agent destination, maybe?
I assume it means nothing.
Probably not. Now, speaking of free agents, or maybe not a free agent, but a player moving, did you see Milwaukee?
I did.
They lost last night. I think he might be gone. Like, I know it's too soon to say, but like, with Dame Lillard tearing his Achilles, that team's going to suck next year. They have no shot.
Yeah. So long, the freak.
Yeah, so I guess, hey, Giannis Jokic, I mean, I threw it in the trade machine. You can make it work salary-wise, like.
We'll see. I think he is going to want out.
I think so too.
The time's over.
I don't. Credit to Milwaukee. I feel like they probably did as much as you possibly could to try to like compete, but they kind of got screwed over with some unlucky stuff between Dame Lillard getting hurt, Drew Holiday kind of falling off for a little bit before he went to Boston and then was good again. Chris Middleton's injuries, like I kind of feel bad for Giannis and Milwaukee because it's not like they didn't try to put a team around them. They got screwed by injuries pretty bad.
You know what I think? You know what else happened? This one made me smile.
Which one?
The Miami Heat got completely utterly demolished.
Dude, they lost by 55.
No matter how the Lakers lose tonight.
Dude,
I don't care. That's way better.
Dude, I love how I don't know. I think it might have been Charles Barkley said, "I bet if you went to their house at halftime of that game, I said, I bet if you went to their houses right now, they're already half packed for Cancun." And then, did you see Bam Adebayo today? He basically threw shade at Pat Riley.
Good.
Yeah,
I hate Pat. Yeah. Pat Riley's entire mantra is, "How do I beat the Lakers?" And he's never actually beaten the Lakers.
Yeah. No, it's low key Bam Adebayo. Is he the future? Is he the future Lakers center?
No, I don't think Pat Riley. Pat Riley, as much as they think they can fleece, they won't be able to fleece Pelinka.
That's true. I guess he will try to fleece somebody instead of.
He'll try to fleece him, and the thing too is with the Lakers Heat, I think the Heat are less likely to trade something to the Lakers than the other way around.
Just because of the Pat Riley FU thing.
It's the Pat Riley FU thing, and also the Heat would be like, you don't want Bam, you want
Nikola Jovic, dude.
Yeah, you want Jovic, he's way better, sort of thing. Because they'll try to. It'll be the same thing where they won't be able to acquire Giannis, and he goes to the Nuggets for like Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. or something. Because they don't want to trade Tyler Hero again.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, trade machine. It was Michael Porter, Najee, and all of the young guys, and that was the trade I came up with for Giannis. It works though. It works. Maybe get the Thunder in there to just sweeten with a couple picks. You know what's
funny? I could see him going to OKC
honestly,
for a haul.
To me, that's like the most likely scenario, which scares the absolute shit out of me, dude.
Is they just send over everything they have for him and be like, "Hey, SGA and Giannis,
Giannis, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren, have fun, Western Conference. Good luck."
Yeah, just like I would just be like, we can blow up the Lakers now. It's fine.
Let's just blow up all the teams. Eastern Conference becomes a dominant division because Oklahoma City is our gods.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Don't you love it when that's the case?
Yeah.
We had a good run. We won titles.
Hey, we each won one this decade.
We good.
We're good.
Let's not get greedy.
At least we're not the Clippers, Like, there's other teams we could have been. The Kings in this last decade that much worse.
The Clippers is another one. Yeah. The Clippers is probably the best call.
Yeah, Giannis makes 48. Michael Porter Jr. makes 35. You throw Zeke and Dario, and salary-wise, that works out. We'll have to throw in other stuff, but hey, I'm just saying. Giannis could be, and you know what we would do? We'd play a super big lineup. We'd have Giannis at the 4, Aaron Gordon at the 3. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Our defense will finally be good one day.
All right. Anything else you want to say? I know we said this one would be kind of short.
Yeah, this would be short. I think basketball, we covered it. I want to say congrats to the Rockies. We won our 5th game this year today.
I heard about that. You guys beat the Braves. Congratulations.
Yeah. So hey, we're on that come up. We're at I think our winning percentage is like 140.
Hey, enjoy the 10th overall pick while setting the loss record again.
Really sick. If you extrapolate it out, we're gonna win like 25 games this year.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Disgusting. It is. They're a gross organization. They should feel really bad for themselves.
To be fair, we're as an Angels fan, The Ducks are putting way more money into their stadium than Artie Moreno has ever had in Angels Stadium, and they're right across the street.
Nice. That's fantastic when a hockey team is outspending you. That's never a good sign.
I think it's just hilarious as I laugh hysterically in my ass off that this motherfucker doesn't care that much to where the other old white man is just like, yeah, we're gonna spend money, we're gonna suit this thing up and all this stuff. And what's Artie do?
Yeah. What? But Trout,
how much
man.
money do I have to send to Trump? Yeah, Trout.
We have Trout.
I'm gonna go cry in my pillow tonight.
That's okay. I'll be there tomorrow if the Avalanche lose. So, hey, we're going to Game 6 in Dallas.
But we'll be here back on Saturday with the whole crew. Apparently, Bryce was gonna be out of town. I don't remember him.
I think he did say it. I realized it yesterday when I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he said he was gonna be gone.
Yeah, because I asked him. I said, "Hey, are you good?" He's like, "Yeah, why?" And I went, "Oh, you weren't on Saturday, and we didn't hear anything." He's like, "I thought I told you I was gonna be out of town. I could have sworn I did." And I was like, "Did you?"
Yeah.
God damn it.
I think he did mention it, and we both told. I think we were playing Fortnite at the time, so we kind of
okay.
So
gotcha.
All right, but yeah, Saturday. Everyone be there. Peace.
All right. Bye.